And then suddenly, without warning, I'm sitting here completely by myself with no one else here whatsoever. No, there's no one else here. Okay, see? Completely alone, as you can see. And in chat, naturally, they're debating whether or not Jaina is completely insane again. Which I find hilarious for reasons that I shouldn't have to explain.
She's 3. I don't know that it's possible to be insane when you're 3. I know.
So anywho, why don't we go ahead and start this quest chain? We're going to go and try to take down Ner'zhul. Deutsch likes your hair.
She said so last time.
He
said so last time.
You bring news?
Deutsch is male.
I know, but I've thought that Deutsch was a girl since the beginning.
Deutsch, you are now female. I'm very sorry. Don't worry. We have ways to adjust. Have you thought about cybernetics? You ever seen Deus Ex? You know, nano probes. We cannot enter these gates, but you can that night. Your mission is critical, and Shadowmoon will kill you on sight. Do not hesitate to return the favor.
This too shall pass.
Our scouts have made a horrifying discovery, Xylem. The souls of the prisoners are being used to summon creatures from the void. Inside, 3 beings of darkness already arrayed. Shadow, darkness, anguish. They must be destroyed immediately, before their power can be unleashed.
Never back down.
Wow. We've located the prisoners. They're being held in captivity here inside the Shadowmoon fortress. Please rescue as many as you can and hurry. We can hear their screams from out here.
We will endure.
Light's blessing to you.
That the key to the source of the Shadowmoon clan's power comes from their understanding of the stars and the omens. For centuries, they have recorded patterns of the stars in their interpretations. While you are in the fortress, collect some of those documents for me. We will take their own knowledge and use it against them.
Be brave. You are not alone.
Hey, Salty. We will never be slaves, Deutsch. But we will be conquerors. You know, I really don't want to point this out. It's great that we were able to use the runestone to gain entrance into the Shadowmoon Valley, but I could fly. So, I mean, just, you know. Anyways, the Void beckons. So let's talk about the Void just a little bit. I know we've already discussed it a bit. I've actually had one of my viewers parallel it to the dark side of the Force, and I actually agree with that. Of course, we're talking about the interpretive dark side of the Force, not the one George Lucas espouses. Yes, Zeiss. She's the voices in my head. The idea here being that the dark side is not inherently evil. It is not inherently something that will, you know, corrupt you. However, it is something that's very dangerous to wield and is very, very easy in order for you to utilize it and become corrupted by it because of how self-replicating it is, right? You know, we've talked about that. That's pretty much kind of how both Void and Fel work. The more you use Fel, the less discipline you have with regards to Fel. And Void, this really does apply to both equally. The more likely you are to be consumed by it or corrupted by it, because it is possible in this setting to have literal corruption. I know that I have often said that power does not corrupt, but I am of course referring to a real-life perspective. In some settings, like this one, it is obviously possible to literally be corrupted, to be changed by it. If absolutely nothing else, we saw that happen at the Sunwell. The Felmist, who used to be a blue dragon and then turned into a death to all kind of an individual shortly thereafter. Yeah, basically, Zeiss. Someone who is able to have the self-control necessary to do it properly. And hashtag other players. Sis, can I get a hashtag other players?
Huh?
So I have a hashtag which we started in this Lorerun, which is every time another player gets in the way of me doing a quest, or slows me down, or pisses me off, Hashtag other players. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I didn't think about how to make a hashtag.
Anywho. But yeah, so, but it is worth noting, and we have examples of this, using shadow magic, using fel magic, and using void magic is not necessarily automatically corruptive. It is just something that can corrupt, and indeed is likely to corrupt. It is more or less literally playing with fire. In fact, the number of people we can point to who has used fel energy or void energy without being corrupted by it is extremely small. Thank you, Zoan. Yeah, I think she just almost fell off the chair or something. Either that or that was a hiccup. I'm not sure which. You know what? You're right, Zoan. Why am I looting? I don't know why I'm looting these guys. I'm about to abandon this character forever. Oh yeah, by the way, for those of you not aware, after we're done with Shadowmoon, we're never going to touch this character again. I might actually delete him. I haven't decided yet. So just as a heads up on that, we will be saying goodbye and retiring this character, just like we retired the other characters. So we need to come up with a good retirement story, because we had a story for every other character, and how the Pandaren went home, and how the dwarf ended up in Arathi, I wanted to say it was. You know, all those, you know, we ended up in, we had a retirement story for why we were, in lore, we were abandoning each character. So we need to come up with an in-lore reason why Xylom, the Death Knight Worgen, is going to be hanging up the giant soul grinder mace that he's wielding. By the way, I've decided in lore, I'm going to go ahead and say that this is a soul grinder mace, because that's horrible and it appeals to me. Have you seen this mace?
Every time he smashes people with his mace, he is ripping their soul out.
Well, look at this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That explains why it's so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
He is literally ripping their souls out.
Yep. Hey, Grace. We were just talking about fel and void energy and their usage. That's true, Gnarlex. Although I don't know many details about it, unfortunately. No, Meadfist. I would like a story that wasn't written by Chris Metzen. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist that one. I even defend the man, and I couldn't resist that one. Because I actually like Chris Metzen's writing, and I am not ashamed to admit that. Sis, I like Chris Metzen's writing. She doesn't care. She doesn't know who Chris Metzen is. Why is that add-on even on? It shouldn't be. Well, whatever. I'm kind of in a hurry here, so let's do this, shall we? No, Necro. No romance. No romance in my stories. I disallow it.
Hey!
None of my stories ever are allowed to have romance.
That's not true.
Okay, that's true. There have been 3 exceptions. As I stop to think about that. Hey, Magistrate. Yes, Grey Wolf, as we've discussed before. So, see, the Deutsch, that's a great thing, but as we literally just discussed with Grey Wolf, at some point or another he would have to kill to survive. So... I'm just picturing our Death Knight trying to settle in Pandaria. Actually, I have a small side story in my head written that I've never actually written out loud, or on paper or whatever, about my Death Knight, my in-character Death Knight dying scream, and how, before he was destroyed, Zagmus 2.0 actually was working on a method to try and remove that kill requirement from Death Knights in general, specifically to save her from that continuing torment. Is this ice verse filled with lots and lots of romance? So, the reason I bring up the whole void thing, though, here. So, it is entirely possible, and we have seen on camera, on screen, times where someone can use void energy without being corrupted by it, right? Now, what that requires is a sufficiently powerful will, discipline, and, without a better way to put it, a good soul. A way to be able to maintain a good sense of self, a good sense of who you are without losing yourself to the negative influence of the void or the destructive influence of Fel, right? Now, think about how the Shadowmoon are at this point in history. Oh god, we're not doing well, and the Iron Horde are going to kill us, and oh god, Ner'zhul tells us we have to take this power or we'll die! Quick, use the power! Do you think those particular people are going to be well-reasoned, self-disciplined, strong will, strong sense of yada yada? You get the point. In other words, it's extremely logical that they would completely be corrupted by void, and we see that. We saw that most clearly, even though it seemed cartoony, it was actually making a good lore point about the woman who tried to kill her lover because she was completely consumed by that void energy. And again, void is literally a corruptive essence in this setting, so she could effectively be called not quite the same person as she originally was at that point. Literally willing to murder him because he didn't want to venerate Ner'zhul. And that's it. That was her reasoning. You hear Prophet Valen's voice in your mind. Good work, Xylom. The barriers are down. We are on our way. Pretty damn strong, Deutsch. Pretty damn strong. If you mean dying, my Death Knight, she is extremely strong and extremely experienced and skilled. She fought in the Troll Wars, to give you an idea. Prophet Valen's voice continues. Yrel and I have located Warlord Ner'zhul. He is meeting with Gromash Hellscream atop the highest altar, overlooking Anguish Fortress. Meet us there! We must stop him. Well, that's literally right over there. How convenient. Alright, let me have a quick discussion with the producers. Okay. Everything's better now, guys. Do I need to... Is it... Whoa, hello. The void beckons.
Are you ready, hero? It is just up this way. Over here, hero, before they see us. Listen, they're talking about the Dark Star.
Behold my power, War Chief Hellscream. With my clan at your side, you will be unstoppable.
The void hungers.
Well done, Ner'zhul. We attack Karabor soon. Summon forth the Dark Star. I will begin my preparations at once.
You know, Grom, maybe...
What is that monstrosity?
It is but a fraction of the Dark Star's power.
We'll see about that.
So, maybe it's me, but maybe Grom should think twice about summoning eldritch abominations from the souls of the dead and the damned in order to unleash on his enemies, when the only way he has to control it... And hear me out on this, okay? I'm going to back out just a second, because I really want to talk about this. Even ignoring the fact that what Grom is doing is stupid and evil, if we were to agree with his mindset for a second, his whole point in why he wouldn't allow the Shadowmoon to join the Iron Horde was because of the fact that he believed the Shadowmoon were too weak to contribute to his Iron Horde. If you are concerned that someone is too weak, why would you trust them with summoning eldritch abominations? Hey, Sonashi.
Samara! No. No!
Sorry, Luke. Your aunt and uncle are dead.
Yrel, do not be sad. I did not choose this fate. But you can still choose. Be strong, little one. I will be watching over you.
Samara, I swear to you, I will become strong. I will protect our people. I will fight.
I don't know if you
Come,
can see it,
champion.
but there's her
I will
spirit.
need your help to crash this Iron Horde.
Hope you're paying attention, though, because you see what just happened to that spirit? That doesn't mean she moved on to the light. That means she's been consumed into the depths of the Shadowmoon thing, whose name I suddenly can't think of the name of. It's not even on the list. The Shadowmoon dungeon. It's not literally the dungeon. There's a lore significance to it, which I'll be discussing, of course. Hi, Pokemiibo. Well, thank you very much, Pokemiibo. We're doing a bit of a special on donation incentives right now. If you choose to, it's the burial grounds, thank you. If you choose to, you don't have to, but you can also put that donation towards which mount we fly for the immediate duration. Gnarlex donated for us to fly the Frostworm Drake, which is why we switched to it. I have many mounts. If you don't know the mounts, then I don't know what to tell you, actually. I have a lot of mounts. I have 230 mounts that you can pick from. I would prefer you pick one that can fly.
The Iron Horde fleet has been sighted off the coast. We're calling every defender to the temple.
But Ner'zhul poses an equal threat. What should we do, Prophet?
Champion, I need your help to stop the Dark Star's arrival. Marad, can you hold Karabor until we are finished?
As long as the defense crystal stands, we will hold. Commander, I will gather the troops from your garrison. Do not delay long. They will need your leadership on the battlefield.
Hey, look at that. The garrison is once again tying into the overall story arc of the questing campaign. I just felt like pointing that out again. We should not actually be doing these quests yet. Well, okay. When are we leaving? What's our ETA?
We wanted to get there by... What time did I say?
I don't remember.
6:30? You sent a text message.
3rd. When are we supposed to be there by? Guys, I don't remember. I'm going to sleep tonight, I tell you what. I'm going to take NyQuil and sleep tonight. Holy crap. Just so you know. Well, while we wait on
Without
that,
faith, the battle is lost.
Yirael is my brightest student, and at times my dimmest. She is fierce in battle, but does not discipline herself through training. She learns quickly, but cannot sit still enough to read a book. She would much rather play with the village children than memorize the holy text. If only she would focus. Okay, so 3rd says 7. That's the old time, though. So, okay, 3rd, we've discovered something that's relevant. 3rd's going with us to the movies tonight. It's not we get catering while in the theater. There's like a thing where we can get food and then take that food into the theater. So we're going to go show up a little bit earlier. So 6:30, I think. And that way we'll have a little more time to get food in the little restaurant thing that the VIP player has access to, and then take it into the VIP area ourselves. So 6:30, does that still work for you? I hope so. Either way, what's our transit time? Because we still need to answer our question. Hang on, I need to poke at my sister so she recognizes that I'm talking to her.
I heard you. I shook my head yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't see that from this angle. So what's our transit time? Sis? Okay, awesome 3rd. We are going to see X-Men tonight. We will be seeing Warcraft June 9th, and I already have tickets. We'll be going with 3rd again, actually. We will not be going to the VIP showing, though, I'm afraid. The Shadowmoon are not simple opponents. Your fighting skill is truly comparable to none.
The light will guide your way.
I know I could trust this task to you, Zala.
Be just. Something is amiss on this world.
Your aid is appreciated, Death Knight. Thank you. My acolytes will study these in great detail. With any luck, we will be able to use this knowledge to defeat the Shadowmoon.
You are the instrument of change.
That's a good question. Why don't we throw a poll up for the next 30 minutes? Poll open. Should we do a stream on X-Men Apocalypse? The 28th. On the 28th. Yes. No. 180? No, 1800. There you go. There we go. There's now a poll up for the next 30 minutes. 1 is yes and 2 is no. Very simple.
This is our moment.
Whether or not we're going to be doing a live stream or just a regular discussion about the movie we're seeing tonight. We saved everyone we could, Zalom. We were too late for the others, including my sister. Prophet Valen is right. When asked of us, we must all fight. I promise this, I will never again let my loved ones suffer. I will kill everything necessary. I will take up Frostmourne! And Ner'zhul is close to calling down the Dark Star, and we are the only ones who could stop him.
Please be careful.
Ding! We are taking care of the survivors now. We owe our lives to you. Thank you, Zalom.
Victory will be ours.
Not all who wander are lost. Many depend on you.
Giant iron mug. This might be our last ding picture on this guy.
We welcome your help.
I'm just going to leave this as a generic message to turn up whenever we have a poll going. It is already beginning. Over the hills to the southeast. Ner'zhul has everything he needs to summon the Dark Star. The Iron Horde attack on Karabor is imminent. This is where everything ends. Champion, I must ask you to ride ahead and delay Ner'zhul. I will join you as soon as I can.
Be just.
I refuse. We didn't. When are we leaving? We didn't decide that.
We're being there by 6:30.
Okay, help me out.
If we're being there by 6:30, then we need to leave here at about 5:45.
Okay, that's enough time to finish the zone, I believe. Because I've still got one chunk of quest we haven't done, so I'm gonna go do that before we do the finale. Yes, it does, Baregwin. Nice touch, eh? And yeah, if you feel like having your vote be unseen for whatever reason, you can actually whisper it. Oh yeah, by the way, so we were talking about Fiona earlier. That wasn't just an idle jest. Fiona's right here from Eastern Plaguelands. You remember her? Along with a couple of other people from Eastern Plaguelands. Because naturally, again, they treat warlords as another dimension in the past, in another world, as if it's just, you know, next door.
Open for business.
Gidwin was attacked by one of those... I don't have a Worgen accent. Gidwin was attacked by one of those plant creatures, and from the looks of it, he's suffering from some kind of paralysis. I can make a cure, but I'll need some local ingredients.
Always a pleasure.
Looks like those plant creatures use some kind of poison. It's a powerful concoction, to say the least. If we are going to cure Gidwin, we need one more special ingredient. This one might be harder to obtain than the others. Are you up for the challenge?
Pop in any time.
Yeah, these herbs effects will put you in a spring into your step. Yay. Yeah, I can't do British. Which is funny, because most people assume that British is like the easiest accent to emulate. But I cannot do British. You can ask my sister. My British turns into Russian. Just immediately. It's like, alright, do a British accent. Very well, I will speak in a British accent. Scooby, Scooby. Scooby snacks. I need more Scooby snacks. Cheep, cheep, tally-ho. Hello, love. Carry on from there. Very soon we will cause the endless destruction of all that lies before us. Is that good? How am I doing? I'm serious, though. I have actually tried to do British, and if I listen to a British accent, like, a lot, like, if I just put on Eddie Izzard for about an hour, I can pretty much emulate Eddie Izzard's accent, whichever version of British that is. That's all I got, though, and I have to be listening to it to get my mind into it. I can't do Irish, nor can I do Scottish. I can, however, do Dwarven. Oh, I can absolutely do Canadian. I'm sorry. Hey, someone got it. So, I'm sorry, Zeiss. So I hope you notice what they're looking at. This is actually a little bit of the overgrowth thing. See that? This is the difference between the overgrowth and the Zanger. The Zanger is just the natural growth of the mushrooms and the fungi. The overgrowth is the invasive growth, hence why it's called the overgrowth, of plant creatures. And as you can see, they will grow into and throughout your body, which is basically as horrible as it sounds. They can literally control people through spores and seeds and whatnot within your brain. Again, not a joke. In all honesty, of all the horrible things we encounter in Warlords, the overgrowth is the stuff that makes me shudder just a little bit too much, because, oh my god. The voice actress of the woman who was being controlled, for lack of a better term, by the overgrowth just sells it.
I am listening.
The botany. I call them the overgrowth because it's kind of a general term for all of them. They usually refer to them as the botany. The botany are infecting the local river beast with some kind of strange flesh-eating plant. I fear this infection to spread to our people. If you have any infested river beasts, kill the blooming plants that inhabit their bodies before they kill you.
The strong spirit will always triumph.
Notice how he's struggling even to stand up right now? Because of how much of his body is no longer flesh, but plant. Yeah, the Zanger does something else too, but I still find the overgrowth to be much worse. Much, much, much worse. The overgrowth is just... yeah. I don't know what this quest wants for me to do. Well, there's no bay involved, unless you count that over there a bay. So I suppose
it wants
that
those red things.
No, it doesn't. That's the thing. I don't know what it wants me to kill.
5 blooming mandragora.
Hang on, I have an idea. Hey, you, attack me. That's right, you can't. They're red mobs who don't aggro you because they're so overwhelmed by the overgrowth which is consuming their bodies alive.
You attack it.
Okay. That is definitely a mercy killing, by the way. Seriously, that is the definition.
What's the quest say?
So this is the Daivari overgrowth. Aha!
Oh, you found one.
So these are the botany. This is why I don't refer to the whole thing as the botany. The botany actually refers to the sentient sapient creatures that are actively pushing the overgrowth. Whereas the overgrowth refers to the whole thing. Yeah, isn't it, Daphman? Hey, MPPY. I'm gonna start calling you Mappy. Hi, Mappy. No? Don't call you... okay. You know how they say that corpses are some of the best fertilizer? I don't know if they meant that quite that literally, but... Anyway. We'll talk much more about the overgrowth. Ah, here we go. and the botany when we get to Gorgrant, which is where it will be becoming much, much more relevant. Pretty much the primary story trying to affect. You guys will actually have a choice to make when we get to Gorgon. I thought about it for a while, and I thought about doing each zone twice to show off the two sides of the quests, and then I realized how insane and ridiculous that would be and how much repetition there would be, so I've decided, rather than doing that, we're actually going to see each zone once, and I will let the chat, and it'll be a lengthy vote. We'll leave it up for like a while before we go there. We'll be able to decide which side of the quests we do. If you don't know what I mean by this, in Talador and in Gorgrund, and a little bit in Arak, some of the quests, not all the quests, but some of the quests branch depending on which garrison expansion you choose. I agree, Meter Madeira. Honestly, I think the botany and the overgrowth is one of those, not quite, but still, you know, it's top tier threat level. You know what I mean? Yes, Gnarlex, that is true. And then they went with the bubble idea instead. The two rider teams just did not agree with each other at all.
Let us speak.
This news is disturbing, to say the least. I'm shocked the infestation has spread so quickly.
Melanora Aka.
These poor river beasts. I hope the infestation never spreads. The funny thing is, you'd think fire would fix it. Okay, in fairness, fire can fix it, but still.
What do you offer?
The only downside of the overgrowth, their only weakness, I should say, is the fact that they don't spread on their own. The Zanger will do the mind infestation thing that we'll show later in Gorgrund on their own. The overgrowth won't do anything unless it's pushed by one of the botany. So that's probably the best explanation I've ever seen for why it is that even though Yalnu actually got into Azeroth on Stormwind, it didn't actually infest all of Stormwind or all of Azeroth like it could have. Because without something pushing the overgrowth to spread, it doesn't spread. There must always be a plant king. Oh, wait. Let me do my British accent. Bring up Job Zalom. The base is just about ready.
What? No tip? How may I help you?
I just wanted to pick some herbs and relax with my boys. I should have stayed in Azeroth. Well, that was fast. The base is boiling and ready for those ingredients. Add each of the ingredient, one at a time. I will handle the mixing and frothing. Speak to me when you're ready.
The only honest merchant's a Gilnean merchant.
Not sure I believe that. So we have Venom, Riot Vine, and a giant... That's a heart. Right there. Or maybe it's 2 hearts. It's supposed to be 1 heart. A glow. Whoop, okay. Apparently, the Venom does not add glow.
I offer service with a smile. Spread the good word, eh?
Whoops. So, okay, every time you screw this up, you have to start over from scratch, which
I have what you
kinda
seek.
sucks. Let's try this again. Wait very patiently this time. Immense patience. Infinite patience. Something meaty? Have a chunk of heart. My ghoul just exploded. My ghoul just exploded because I threw a heart into a pot. Did I throw the wrong heart into the pot? Alright, get up, Gidwin. Oh, my heart. Wait a minute. Ugh.
How may I help you?
Good one's looking much better, thank you. Here, we have enough elixirs to help the others, which gives you
Cheers, mate.
garrison resources. There are others the caravan have gone missing. My guess is they have taken to the blade mean bloom by the botany. You have to help them. You are their only hope. Here, take some of this elixir. I made some, in case you'll need it.
Buying and selling is in
We
the
will
blood.
persevere.
Gidwin's doing much better, thank you, Xylom. I can't believe the Draenei have lived so long alongside these horrible monsters. Maybe we should show these beasts what happened when you mess with an Azerothian.
Salama Ashalanore.
May the light embrace.
Kill them all.
Safe journey.
Do I have a deal for you?
I'm just sitting around horrible for business. I gotta find a way to recoup my lost profits. Those Draenei females are obsessed with the way their horns looked. I overheard one of them talking about a root that grows in Blade Moon Boom, or supposedly reduces horde shedding or something. I bet I could sell that root to them for a nice profit. I'll give you a cut if you help me get my supply going.
Keep it real.
All this talk about poison and paralysis and not helping my sales. Gidwin can be so damn rude sometimes. Do it, Narlax.
Have you any news?
Huh? I appear to have fallen asleep again. These slumber blooms are nothing but trouble. One moment I am fighting a Botanai. Next I am dreaming I am an Elic dancing with river beasts. I really should do something about all these slums.
We will persevere.
That's right, so part of the message of these quests, even though this is mostly just silly fluff, is the idea that even in the nice, you know, relatively idyllic, relatively peaceful area that has been mostly settled by the Draenei, there are still fairly severe threats that exist in the area. Now granted, some of these have been deliberately pushed threats by the botany, but still. Also, I'm glad you've been liking Overwatch, Juju's. You can sleep easy tonight knowing you have destroyed so many slumber booms. Just not quite as easily. There ain't no true voice I be gotten, man. I can't be doing it. Now you and me, we share blood bond, Craze. Together we be bringing back the Horde to true greatness. We be stopping Garrosh. We be avenging Cairn. We be telling Throy he needs to get up off his lazy ass. Do some real work for a change.
What are you reading from?
I am be reading in me troll voice, my dear sister. For you know I am always a troll at heart.
No, you're not.
I am one of the Zandalori.
You're Russian.
I am... Shut up. That would make you a Draenei.
Draenei aren't Russian.
Yes, they are. Have you ever heard their voices?
Yes.
Well, there you go. I am a Draenei. Wait, I lost my various voices. Hang on. I am a Draenei, and I will make the true Horde! Well, there's the Tauren. Be free, Tauren. May the Earthwalker always walk on the earth. I will kill everything and everyone and create a monument to non-existence. Is that better? So as I mentioned, this is pretty much all the guys who are part of the caravan all the way back in East Plagues. And I admit it was some good nostalgia to see them again and to see what they've been up to. And then my very next thought was, wait, what the crap hell are you doing in Warlords? Seriously, how did you get here? Why are you here casually? We're in another world, in another time, in another dimension. We are 3 levels of not here.
Warm wishes to you.
Good. You made it. I need your help. This is bad. A Genosar is starting to sprout right here in the bloom. This is the first reported case of a Genosar being born in Draenor in over 300 years. No wonder the botany have been acting so crazy. They are bringing back bodies to fertilize that monstrosity. We have to kill it before it gets any larger. Once fully grown, there's no stopping that beast.
Dionys Haka.
Lead the change, Xylem. The Rengari will be right behind you. You're right, Gnarlex. I'm sorry. The next time I see a horde, I will kill them immediately, because I am stupid. Similarly, on my horde, the next time I see an alliance, I will kill them, because I am stupid. Oh, right, I'm supposed to... The point is, at this point, Craze, that there are basically dozens, if not hundreds, of casual, stress that word, portals, linking between Azeroth and Warlords, which I don't like. And I've already said that 1,000 times. I don't want to rehash that for the 50 billionth time. Just pointing it out.
The Naru have not forgotten us.
That was close. If the Genosar had grown any larger, we would have needed an army to destroy it. Thank you for your help.
Be well.
I've actually been wondering that too, Necro. I have a feeling that this is one of those the lore contradicts itself situations. And maybe Chronicles will clean that up a little bit. So if you ever wondered what this does in action, Remorseless Winter, that's what it does, when properly applied. It is possible, as Gnarlex points out, that they could have been told. I mean, there are plenty of people they've been interacting with here. The Arakoa, sorta. The Orcs, the Ogres. Hey, Argus. Shine on, you bald bastard. Shine on. So I guess that's not necessarily a lore contradiction. So, I've been getting spam bots every now and again sending me whispers asking me to go to their virus-laden site and buy their services to increase my views, right? I find it amusing because they've changed the message. I just want to read this. I want to read this other message here because I've decided to tell you about this great Twitch promoting tool called, I'm not going to tell you what it is, and here's the URL and blah, blah, blah. You, too, can promote your stream and get real viewers, real followers. Thank you for your time, and good luck building your gaming empire.
What's up?
Found any young root? How am I going to package this? I have an idea. He writes young root on the label and slaps it onto a bottle of adder oil. He then throws the young root into the bushes behind him. Perfect! It's rare I see a literal snake oil salesman.
Have a good one.
Hey, you want to buy some Singtail eye drops before you head out? They're great for reading at night and almost never cause blindness.
Anaria Shola.
That's what I'm talking about. Great work out there, Xylem.
Farewell.
Open for business. I run a stand-up business here.
And then
A
Fiona
coin
joins
spent
us.
here is a coin for Gilneas.
Alright guys, this is it. Our character's about to retire and live happily ever after with Fiona. I knew it, Halfman. That makes so much sense. Wait a minute. It makes too much sense. First, let's talk to Rianu. Anyways.
Ortichar, traveler.
Thank you for coming to our aid.
Be well.
Yeah, sure. So I kind of already did most of your quests here. And that's actually it, I want to say. Why is that not done? Wait, what happened to Magister? No! Farewell, Magister. You will be fondly missed in the mist of the mists of Mystaria. I'm not clever right now. What do you want from me, guys? Well, anyways, it's time to finish up the zone, guys, because I really would like to get something else done. So we're done plot-wise, other than the big events. Let's do this. Wake up, Harsh. Wake up. Alright, let's do it. I'm basically the lore version of the end, so instead of snipering, I'm lore, you know? Holy crap, there's void creatures in here. Zan is not paying enough attention to wake me up, sorry. She's consumed by the insidious thing known as the Shah of Monga. Wait, this one? Alright, this is it, guys. We got this. Behold! The Dark Emanation. A mere outcropping of the Dark Star. Also, so there's some theory crafting that's been tossed around. So traditionally these have been viewed as demons, right? And for obvious reasons. They've only actually been seen on camera a very few number of times, but each time they've been consistently called demon, except here, where they are acting as more of a void creature. And the interesting thing is, to me, these make more sense as an outcropping of the old gods than demons, personally. I mean, these things just strike me as old god-y. But I don't know what the truth is. It is very possible that this is simply them reusing art assets, and that's all that this is. There's an idea. While our Horde character continues saving the world, our Alliance character runs the garrison all day. That sounds like an appropriate epilogue to Warlords. Down you go. Okay, so. Where the heck is Ner'zhul? I don't know, Noralex, although... well, let's just say there have been a few other times when the old god... some stuff has been debatable if it was old god stuff, void stuff, or demon stuff. So, possible? However, unlikely. Remember I mentioned jumping puzzles? I thought I'd show off at least one, and it happens to be here, so... it was this one or the one in the other chunk of the zone. And then we get this, and we get stuff. Yay! Jumping puzzle. Very simple. But of course I know where I'm going. Hey, Bowman. What's up? Do note, by the way, that most of these void creatures are not, shall we say, deliberately summoned. In other words, these are basically byproducts of the void magic that they've been practicing. Which makes sense. Remember that these people are incredibly undisciplined. Remember how we talked about how an arcane mage who doesn't know what they're doing is going to just make a mess? Same concept. These people have no idea what they're doing here. And they're making a mess. Yeah, we've basically already talked about Ner'zhul. We're going to talk a little bit more about him in a bit, but we're basically done, yeah. Hey, Ner'zhul. What's up?
You are just in time. Witness the dark majesty of the void.
Yeah, sure. By the way, I do understand that I myself gave a possible reason why Ner'zhul went from well-meaning, well-reasoned, fully fleshed out character.
Save my clan, even if I must forfeit the souls of my ancestors.
Into, you know, this guy. And that's that corruptive influence of the Void. Again, it requires quite a bit of energy and work and time and discipline and all that fun stuff in order to be able to successfully wield Void without being corrupted by it. I don't think Ner'zhul has any of those things right now. But no, the real reason why Ner'zhul is so badly written is because they wanted desperately to parallel his story arc in his original version without any of the set pieces in place to make that
Darkness is
happen.
my strength. With this power, the Shadowmoon will be conquerors!
Oh, yay. Thank you, Imperium Bot.
It is not too late. Turn from this dark path, and let us help you!
The shadows have already consumed my soul, Prophet.
There is no darkness light cannot pierce, Ner'zhul.
No! The power of the Dark Star will be mine!
And that's what I mean by that. He was flat out offered a hand of friendship, even at this point, even after all he's done, by Valen. And his response was, nope. Idiot.
Behold! The Dark Star falls now upon you. The Iron Horde will prevail. And all that stand against us will die.
Symbol of the Naru, by the way. I'll admit that's an amazing cutscene. No arguments. I still prefer the Horde version, but that is still an amazing cutscene. I'll talk a little bit more about why I feel the Horde cutscene has more of an emotional impact when we get there. But still, I mean, credit where credit is due. That was awesome. And I like the simplicity of it. Valen looking up like... And you see her, and you see all hope flee from her face. No dialogue. And then he's just like, alright, here. Gave her the symbol of the Naru, marking her. And then sacrificed his life so that his light would reignite the Naru. Which completely turns the tide of the entire battle.
Light, help us.
Prophet Valen is gone, but there is no time to mourn. We will honor Valen's passing once the Iron Horde have fled these hills. Now is the time to fight. No, Bowman. I'm seeing it in about 3 hours.
We will answer the prayer. I can't believe he's gone.
Iro, the defense crystal is broken. The Iron Horde have overrun Karabor. We'd need a miracle to break through.
Valen's sacrifice means nothing if the temple falls.
You don't have to do this, Iro. Take the survivors and flee.
No, we stand here against the Iron Horde. I will fight. Hero, are you with us?
Damn right I am.
Where do we stand?
The Iron Horde have overtaken Karabor. If we don't act now, we will lose the city. Exarcha Kama and the last of our forces are trapped within the city, but your garrison forces are still outside the temple awaiting your orders. come fly with me. We will meet your forces in the field. With the Naru by our side, we'll make one less charge to retake the city.
We must not fail.
You gonna help us, Ada? No? Okay. Just thought I'd ask. Although you do notice they have the symbol of the Naru hovering over them there, which is significant. Also, once again, and I hate to keep pointing it out, but I keep pointing it out to try and defend the garrisons, because you know how much hate they get. This is once again the garrison kind of weaving into the plot here. So they've actually taken Karabor. That's Karabor there. I'll show it off proper pretty much after this.
Fly with me, hero. We will assist them from above.
I like that
The
idea.
purifying light of the Naru is both our hammer and shield.
The symbol of the Naru is what's allowing us to do this, Deutsch. We are quite literally
They're
raining
at the fairy
light on
temple
them.
gates. Fly closer. Hurry.
This is basically Kaada imbuing us with his power, or her? Doesn't matter. Directly.
Circle back. We must clear the steps.
We are basically the channel for Kaada to do this, if that makes sense.
Never again will you orcish hordes darken the light of Karabor!
This is supposed to have some big emotional impact for players too, and I agree with the reasoning. The idea here is, we've seen an orcish horde completely
by the light of the Naru.
completely screw up Karabor before. There's a reason the current version of Karabor is called the Black Temple. A horrific, demonic-infused fell place.
Carry the light, brothers and sisters.
As an aside, I think I'm doing more damage than I should be here because of my level. I'm not sure if that's true. I have to admit, I would have liked this quest a lot more if this did no damage to the enemy at all, but instead was basically like a full heal to the allies. So your job was to keep your army going with the light of the Naru supporting them. I think that would have been more thematically appropriate and more significant, and it made you feel more like a commander rather than an artillery, which is what this feels like. It's still cool. It's just, I think it could have been better. That's Warlords in a nutshell, isn't it? Still cool, but it could have been better. I do like the effort they put in, at least into the army that's traveling with us up here. This is a pretty final battle, yeah. This is the last battle of the zone. Although, time permitting, which I may not have, I'd like to do one more thing before we move on for the day.
We've done all we can from up here.
I think we've done quite a
broken
bit
the
up
main
here.
siege. We should meet with our forces on the ground.
Champion, I need you to fight your way to the harbor.
You got it,
I'll
Akana.
approach the enemy from the south. Light of the Naru guide you.
Can we keep, like, bombarding them? And just obliterating them instantly? No? Okay. You're getting a pretty good shot of Karabor here. It's kind of why I'm panning the camera around. This is the Black Temple as it used to look. And it's really, really, really pretty. I would very much like to visit this place. Like, a lot. So we're actually in a scenario now. Nice transition, by the way. No queue, no nothing, just... bzzz. They do a similar thing for the Horde side, too.
We must never change.
Now to destroy these orcs once and for all. Defend Karabor from the Iron Horde. The end of the northern courtyard is Arnok the Burner. He guards the entrance to the harbor behind Karabor, where the main Iron Horde army is waiting. Once we've taken care of him, we'll need to deal with the Iron Horde leader, Commander Vorka.
These are the last of our forces. We'll stay here to hold the temple gates. Champion, I need you to fight your way to the harbor.
Okay. As you can see, their artillery is somewhat effective. That's one of their artillery shells right there. Actually, that's a lie. That's one of their transit shells, as I pointed out. But imagine if that was actually the shots they were shooting, you know? And as usual, in a scenario, they can do more with certain things, so... You can actually see the whole place is still under siege. Now that, you know, they've lost their beachhead. I should zoom the camera up just so you can see as much of this place as possible. Basically, you get in, and then it launches, and then you get out. Hurts like hell, too. One thing I do like about this, even though some people... Those are Void, Deutsch. Some people disagree with me on this, and that's fine. As ever, I enjoy disagreements as long as they're well-reasoned or civil. But I very much like the idea that the Iron Horde is basically capable of this kind of thing, even without the power of the Dark Star empowering them. Just because, again, they are a heavily militiant power, which is focused solely on militiant activities, and the Draenei are basically the exact opposite of that.
The Iron Horde will take you all.
I mean, if you have... It's one of the reasons why the Klingons were able to so easily defeat the humans in several instances in their history, and it was only diplomacy that ended that war. Those wars, I should say. The Klingons were way less advanced, way less developed, and had way less infrastructure than the Federation. But they were so much more focused on the war side of things, the military side of things, the combat side of things. They were able to just push their way in and do what, you know, the Federation couldn't. And don't forget, the Iron Horde are more than willing to be atrocious. They have the Terran Dominion effect going for them, which, for those of you who haven't watched my StarCraft lore run, I discuss how one of the reasons why the Terran Dominion was able to accomplish so much is because of their lack of ethics.
Iron Fleet, darken the skies!
Because when you don't care about the ethical ramifications of your actions, you can accomplish more cheaper in a smaller period of time. When you don't care about consequence, basically. And that's kind of what the Iron Horde are at. They don't give a damn. They will gladly scorch the earth to gain a victory. I will say one thing. As much as I prefer overall several aspects of the Horde storyline in Frostfire Ridge, this scenario is way better than the Horde equivalent, which is basically just to hold the line. And that's all the Horde one is. It's got some cool moments, but the actual scenario itself, the gameplay side, doesn't even begin to compare to this. This is awesome. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I could see that, Bowman. A little smaller scale, but still. It's an MMO. What do you want? I like how most of these Draenei are priests, by the way.
The Naru has come to aid us. We must defend it while it gathers power.
If you don't understand why I like that, I like it for two reasons. One, it takes away the need for maintaining most of your health from your side, so you can maintain pace. In other words, this battle wouldn't feel nearly as interesting if you were constantly sitting down to eat. So they keep the pace up. Number two, it makes perfect sense that, as I just mentioned, the more peace-loving, idealized Draenei don't really have a military army, but they have lots and lots of priests, lots and lots of healers. So, I mean, you know, that makes a great deal of sense. And, of course, the final reason I like it is because of the fact that it prevents this from being what is effectively a purely story scenario, from being a bottleneck in story progression, by allowing you to do this on a healer, a DPS, or a tank, more or less equally. Attacks against targets have a chance to trigger the essence. Cool. So, I don't know if you're seeing what's happening there. Let's see if I can trigger another one. Maybe. Nah. Oh well. If you saw the light beams, that was the proc going off. Yeah, that right there. Also, I used to watch American Gladiator, but I couldn't tell you why.
Now to put an end to this assault.
I will deal with you myself.
Notice this is almost a mirror of what happened in Valen's vision, except for the fact that obviously this is better in every way, because Valen's dead, which means they're going to win. Wait. Hey, buddy. We'll talk more about the Iron Horde leadership structure later. But in many cases, it makes sense that the Iron Horde leaders are stronger than your average troops, because that's just kind of the kind of organization that the Iron Horde are. I did too, though. Yeah, I wanted to get you a good shot of Kaada there.
The skies darkened with iron.
They do. You're right.
Soldiers, come to my aid.
Also, another interesting factoid about virtually every Iron Horde boss is almost none of them fights alone. God, they hit this place with a hell of a force, didn't they? Look at all those dreadnoughts. Say bye-bye, dreadnoughts. Note how it's...
We need to spread news of our victory. Take the Fey Dragon and meet me back at Mbari Village.
Note how its colorization has changed slightly, and there's actually shadow energy around it now. Because the outburst of light energy it just used was so massive and so powerful that it had an automatic and natural counter-reaction of shadow. Fun little bit of continuity. This is actually her sister's personal Fey Dragon. We saw this when we first met her sister all the way back when we were leaving the garrison.
Hero, you fought fearlessly. For that, please accept my thanks. The light prevails, because we stand against the darkness.
It is done. Victory is ours.
Now, it is a note of worth that is the first major loss the Iron Horde has ever had. Do note that we actually did fight the actual Iron Horde there at the end, which is why I say it's the first loss the Iron Horde ever had. Even though we've been beating the Shadowmoon here and there, and even though we'll be defeating the Thunderlord over there, this is the first time the Iron Horde proper really gets beat down.
What is happening to this world?
We did it, Salam. Without your heroic efforts, the Temple of Karabor would have been lost to the Iron Horde. The Prophet Valen would be proud of us. Our victory today was costly. Too costly. There is no guarantee we can turn another attack. We need to know what the Iron Horde is up to, and there's only one place we can go to find out. Gorgrund. It is a savage land that few have ever returned from. I mean to go there. I mean to find their stronghold at Blackrock. And I mean to find out how we can defeat these vile orcs. Will you join me there, Commander? No!
We must hold on to our faith.
Because this character just got retired. See, what happened in my mind is the massive outburst of light basically erased his Death Knight nature and returned him to a living worgen. And he went off and lived happily ever after the end. What? Everyone likes that kind of story, right? No, you want something worse? Okay. Right. Forgot about this. Forgot about this. Hang on, I gotta do one last thing. I'm sorry. I actually forgot about this. So you prefer a different kind of story. Okay, I can make a different kind of story. We are one of the darkest Death Knights we've ever encountered. One who has been, through sheer bloody-minded determination and will, but managed to be able to push through Wrath, well, BC, Wrath, Kata, Pandaria, and a chunk of Warlords. that sheer severity and outburst of light energy actually destroyed us. Absolutely erased us from existence, basically. And so we are now gone. And that's how our character retires. Would you prefer that? I gotta plug something in really quick. I would like to have my phone functional when I go to the movies, so I'll be right back. This literally won't take me more than a minute. Just gotta go do it. Yeah. Hurry, I swear. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, there's plenty of things like that, Bowman, in the Warcraft setting. I just like the idea more that we were so utterly eradicated that there's nothing left of our soul after we are destroyed by the light. That's true, Necro. We could have also class changed back to a paladin. It wouldn't be hard to assume our Worgen used to be a paladin before becoming a Death Knight. After all, we were something of martial skill before we became a Death Knight. Right. The shrine has dozens of niches where the Prophet's followers have placed their own memory crystals, mourning their great leader's sacrifice. You slide the crystal into an empty socket, and the memorial comes to life.
Greetings, savior of my people. If you are hearing this message, it means I am no more. But Karabor is safe. I owe you an explanation. The Naru that we Draenei revere are creatures of pure light. But if their death is near, they lose their essence, collapsing into creatures of shadow. When we Draenei first arrived on this world, Naru accompanied us, but they could not stop our vessel from crashing.
That's awesome.
The dark star that appeared in the skies above Drano that terrible night was no celestial body. It was a fallen Naru, ejected from our vessel in moments of panic and terror. Its name was Kara.
No, now you don't add the
What
pause.
once was a creature of faith and beauty became a dark and hungering god, a living font of darkness. We owed Kara a great debt. Without the Naru's aid, my people would never have escaped our homeworld of Argus. To see Kara's transformation into shadow was a heavy burden to bear. When the Naru returned to us, I did what I had to do. Remember, life is the light, and the light is life itself.
Yeah,
they
that's
may
not actually
be
true.
exchanged, but nothing is ever lost. I only hope my people will understand.
So, yeah, that explanation, yeah, what Necro said there was put there for players who were not familiar with the Naru or any of their functionality, because all of this was actually already explained quite a while ago, back in BC, actually, when we really started examining the Naru. So none of that's actually new. But it's still cool. I'm not complaining. I'm just pointing out why they put this explanation here. I also like the idea of a memory, a literal memorial comprised of memories, because of the nature of how their crystal technology works. The fact that they can actually basically put literally their own memories, thoughts, communications into a crystal and put it in the memorial, so people in the future could see what people have to say, either from the lost person themselves, in our case, or all the other people who put something in here, or decided to add their notes to it, saying, this is what Valen meant to me, and sharing that. So, If I really hurry, I might be able to get Shadowmoon done. But we have one last thing done with Shadowmoon today. And as I said, this character is now retired. And unlike what Deutsch would like, I don't really have the ability to pull that gold off the character. I might have the ability to do some things with it, but yeah. It's a shame I don't have anyone on who could help me burst through this right now. Because I only have a little bit of lore to share, but I would like to share it, and I would like to share it here. But I've basically got about 15 minutes to do this. I'm, of course, referring to the Shadowmoon Burial Ground, and that's a 100 dungeon. That's not going to be enough time. I don't have time. I don't have enough time to do a level 100 dungeon. I thought it was lower level than 100 for some reason. Sorry, guys. I actually can't do it in time. Not without a group of raid-geared people at my back. So we're actually going to cut it off here. I need to get ready to go anyways, so I guess that works out. Tomorrow we will start off right as soon as we start off, whenever we actually do start. We will be starting with... I don't know if we'll be starting tomorrow. I'm not going to commit to that. I don't actually know if we're going to be starting tomorrow morning. I don't know my schedule yet. I do know we're going to be streaming, obviously, during the weekend, but I'm not sure what's going on tomorrow. The schedule's kind of wonky, so... one way or another, I'll be seeing you Saturday to talk to you guys about X-Men. You have a good one, guys.